really need to stop buying sewing patterns and fabric as well, because I just don't have the space. Okay, let's see what I have. Let's see my new patterns and my new fabrics. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hi sewing friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Polly and this is the Sewing Edit, where we talk all about sewing and styling a handmade wardrobe. Today I thought I would share with you a small mini pattern haul and a fabric haul. I simply can't stop buying patterns and fabric as well. I am having this constant struggle that I recognize this is my hobby, this is what makes me happy, and at the same time I'm like, well, I have all the time in the world to sew all these things, but this is what gives me a lot of positive energy and releases my creative juices and really makes me excited. So I don't think I can stop it, at least for the moment. So today I wanted to come to you and share with you 4 patterns that I bought recently and 4 fabrics that I also bought recently. When I say recently, I mean something in the range of the last month or so. So let's start first with the patterns that I have bought. I have gone down to the rabbit hole of a Russian sewing community and the Russian patterns. I think I mentioned quite a few times to you some Russian pattern companies, and I have been loving the Viki Sews patterns lately, and because they're running constantly these lucrative sales, I have recently taken advantage. I first, probably in the middle of October, I decided to buy myself 2 patterns that are translated in English. So I have sewn and I have bought some patterns from Viki Sews, and I'm always very happy with the fit, but I have bought them in with the Russian instructions. So I'm Bulgarian, I don't really speak Russian, but I do understand a little bit. Now when it comes to a little bit more sewing terminology, I struggle even with the Google Translate and with the pictures. So I thought, now that they're running sales, I will take the opportunity to buy some patterns English translated. These purchases were more or less made right after I finished sewing the Jenna blouse that I have been talking about in my sewing makes video that I will link here up above. And I was so happy that I thought, I've been eyeing a few other garments from some of their latest collections, so I took the opportunity and I think I bought those patterns on 30% discount if I'm not mistaken. And let me tell you which patterns I got. So I decided to buy my Cynthia shirt or blouse. This is a very loose fitted shirt, very modern design. It doesn't really have any bust darts from anywhere. It has a standard classic collar with a stand. It has a slightly dropped shoulder. It also has cuffs, and also it actually has a very nice lined back yoke with inverted box pleat. Overall, I think the style is very modern and very fresh for me. I'm always looking for a new shirt pattern lately. It says that it's for the difficulty for the sewist is for intermediate. I think advanced beginner, in my opinion, probably will sew it. I went through briefly through their instructions. They seem to be quite thorough. I thought I will buy it. It also, bear in mind that this is a pattern for cottons, for poplin. You can make it into light denim as well. I've seen some beautiful versions of this pattern made already. If you actually go to their website, you will see that on the right side there is a hashtag of the pattern, of the name of the company with the pattern, and you can just click on it, and it will forward you to the Instagram makes basically of this pattern, and you can get a great inspiration there. So I did that, and it seems to be quite popular pattern, and I was really inspired. I've been eyeing this pattern for a while, so I thought this is now the time to buy the pattern. So this is what I did. In terms of sizing for Cynthia Shirt, it comes from size 34 to 52, and I believe it, of course, it's available in the 4 length heights that you can choose the pattern. So usually with Viki Sews patterns you buy one size in one height group. I am personally usually in the highest height group with the size, I think I usually buy 44, it depends, sometimes I can size down on shirts, but overall I think this is my sizing. The second pattern I bought was actually the Adeline Trousers. These are trousers that have really, they're a bit dressy, they look a bit dressy trousers, straight and then a little bit tapered around the ankle area. I have seen this pattern quite a lot on the Instagram community, not only in the Russian sewing community but also on the international sewing community, and I personally have been impressed with all the versions I have seen. It is for intermediate sewists, they say. I have gone quickly through their instructions, and again they're very thorough and extensive, so I think they're really holding your hand while you're sewing this pattern. I'm planning to make it soon. I have a very similar pair of ready-to-wear trousers, and I really like the design of this this pattern. So I think what I would like to do actually is to make them in bright pink, and you can imagine it with a nice turtle neck of black, or some great contrast between the top and the bottom. I think it would work very effectively. Or I think you can make it into gabardine, cottons, different types of fabric. I think I forgot to mention that the pattern details on the front are that you have 2 soft pleats on the front side, and I believe you have darts on the back of the trousers. You also have inseam side pockets, and I think that's it. You could make these trousers for winter or for summer, depending on what fabric you use. You could make it in gabardine, or you can use wool. They did say a dressy fabric, so maybe a little bit something that has a little bit of a drape. I think they would look very well. I think also crepe would work really well. This is the fabric I'm thinking to use for a version. I don't know when I'm doing them, but when I'm sewing them, but I would really like to make these trousers. They also run from size 34 to 52, and they are for intermediate sewists. I believe they have on the website, Viki Sews has a video tutorial on the fly front, if I'm not mistaken. It's a quite clear video, very short one, and it really shows you how to do a fly front if you've never sewn a fly front. So go have a look at it. But really, the instructions so far, even in English, are quite detailed, and I'm quite impressed with the service from this company. So I'm excited to sew those patterns in the near future. Then this week, Viki Sews is currently running a new sale on their website. I think the owner of the company has, I believe she has a birthday, and she's running a sale on her Russian and on her English website. So I decided to take advantage again, and I bought 2 knit dresses. Yes, I don't think I can ever get tired of choosing new designs of knit dresses, and those 2 were quite interesting for me, and I already have I already have fabrics in my stash that I can envision using them for these 2 knit dresses. And let me share with you which are the 2 knit dresses. The first one is actually called the Letitie Dress. It's a tight-fitted below the knee dress that it has a front placket from the top down to the bottom. And what I find interesting about this design of dress is that it is the bust dart has been transferred into the front area. So there are some gathers between the chest area and the waistline, and basically darts, although it's a neat pattern, have been transferred there. At least this was the explanation, the descriptions that was given in the pattern. And I did see some people from the Russian sewing community who were sewing this dress, and I was very intrigued by the construction pieces. They are quite interesting. Especially the front part, where basically here it's gathered. It's really the bust dart has been transferred to the around the bust, the center front area, and it has been opened up. So it is a very interesting way for, well, design feature, I think, and I really would like to try it. I've seen some incredible versions on Instagram on this pattern, and it says that it is for intermediate sewists. And I can see why, because, you know, having to do a collar in a knit fabric and a front placket, and I think you will be you know, if you want to have something clean, as I am envisioning it in my head, you would probably want to have covered buttons that are matching your dress. So I don't think it will be the easiest sewist project if you are kind of just dipping your toes into the knit fabrics. I wouldn't say this is the first or something I would recommend to somebody who is just starting with sewing with knits, but it's certainly an interesting design. I don't know how it will look on me. I'm intrigued. I'm confident I can pull it off in my head, and I actually have a very unusual fabric choice that I brought to show it to you, because I need your advice. I want to hear what you think, whether I'm crazy or whether you think it will work well, because I have another faux leather which is in this gorgeous olive color, and I bought it probably a year ago, I believe, and I was planning to make trousers, cargo pants, and then I never got around to it, and then I had a few doubts about it, because the faux leather is very thin, and it's really very stretchy, one way stretch, but it does have quite a lot of give. So I was thinking to make it in this gorgeous gorgeous faux leather. What do you think? Would that work with this dress? Am I too ambitious? It would be probably a total fail or a success, because I also want to make cover buttons with it. Yes, I know I'm crazy, but I'm up for the challenge. I'm actually quite excited about this project, and I had to show you the fabric I have in my head. So this is the pattern, the third pattern that I bought. And I also bought one more dress, and this is probably not a big surprise, but this is the Liora Dress from Viki Sews again. It's a knit dress below the knee, fitted again. A very interesting silhouette, and ever since I saw it on Alisa from Slot and Orchid, I thought, I've been eyeing it the moment they posted it on their website, because this dress is part of one of their new collections, and I have a few doubts whether I can it would be a good fit for me, because I'm very conscious about my belly, having had a few kids, and it's not the area where I would feel very comfortable to expose, and I feel like this area, it either hides it or it shows your belly. I'm not quite sure. I had an idea what kind of fabric I would use. But let me run you through first the pattern, details of Liora Dress, and then I can share the fabric choice that I have in mind for this dress. It's a dress that consists really of two parts. It has a front, a top upper part and a bottom part, and the upper part you have basically drawstrings that are, yeah, ties that are inserted in the drawstring, and then they are, you know, they're creating gathers around the chest area and they're pulling it up, so you have a little bit of a cutout detail around just below your chest area and the waistline. I think this is quite a flattering cutout. I see a lot of women actually would loosen off a little bit this drawstring, so you can cover this cutout and you don't need to keep it open. So I think that can be a nice, you know, flexible feature if you don't want to expose any skin there. Just probably me, I wouldn't be comfortable with that. I think it's a confident beginner level. It has 2.5 stars difficulty, so I assume it's a very straightforward pattern to sew. And the fabric I have chosen for to sew this dress, I'm not committing on timelines, but how about this leopard print? What do you think? I have been thinking, if I get this pattern, what kind of fabric choice I would have. And it has dawned on me that probably this choice would be a good choice for me, because I feel like I can pair this dress, because it has a very open neckline, I can pair it with a turtleneck, and then I can put the dress, and then I can put some nice black tights, and I can also put some nice black boots, and I'm good to go. So, and with this, my friends, I can wrap up my little pattern haul. Let's talk about fabric that I have bought recently. Now, I have 4 fabrics to show you, and one of them is actually a bit older, but I felt like I want to show it to you because I was very inspired by one of my fellow YouTubers, Andra from Andra Makes, and she goes thrifting and she finds the most incredible things in the thrifting shops in the United States, and I thought I really should go and check out some fabric shops. So this is what I did, and I actually did that in a few of the very last days of my Bulgarian stay, and I found this bed sheet, which is a pure cotton bed sheet, probably good, I don't know, 2 meter by 2 meter, something like this. But look at this print. Isn't it beautiful? I think this will be really nice for a shirt, for example. What do you think? I thought I would share it because I find it very fresh and fun. I've never done such a project to sew something from a bed sheet. I'm really hoping that that will turn out well. Let's see. As I probably have mentioned quite a few times to you, I very often visit Drizenstoffen.nl. It's an online Dutch fabric shop that I keep an eye on because they have reasonably priced fabrics, and they recently had a good amount of rib knits. I always like rib knits for, I don't know what is the reason, but I'm always drawn to them. So when I saw this black and white rib knit, I immediately jumped on it, and I think I bought like 2.5 meters of it. And now looking at it, I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. I am not feeling that that would look nice on a knitted dress, because these stripes, I don't know how to position them. They're a little bit confining in my head when it comes to using stripes in an overall like dress look. And I have so many turtlenecks that at the moment I don't feel like a turtleneck top is something that I would like to sew. So I don't really know what to do with this fabric. And that's what happens when you have these impulse buys that stay in your stash, and that's how you build up a huge amount of fabric at home. That's going to probably be the case. And another one that I bought was this rib knit from Dresdenstoffen as well. It's a beautiful caramel fabric, and I wouldn't say it's the best recovery. It's a little bit loose. I had bought also another one in a cream color that I think in my lounge pants that I made, I used this cream version of the same basically fabric for this sewing project for my lounge pants. And this is another fabric that I bought just because I felt like, oh, I will come up with a plan, and it really hasn't come into my head. And to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure how this actually this kind of color suits my skin. So I'm even thinking, if some of you is interested in this fabric, let me know, contact me on Instagram, and I'm willing to give you a good price, and if you're interested, I might try to sell it if anyone is interested. Otherwise, I'll keep it in my stash, and if an inspiration comes, then I will hopefully have a plan to sew it and use it. The last fabric is a very well, it's a special fabric for me because I have been looking for fabric for a trench coat for quite some time, and I know I want a very fine knit, but I'm very particular on the color that I want. And I recently had a quick visit to Germany, where I usually have a big department store with fabrics that I can go and visit, and sometimes they run sales. So I grabbed one fabric, which is this. It's a very fine knit twill, but it is not very thick, and I would like to use it for trench coat. So I'm not quite sure. I need to line it somehow it does have a drape, it has a little bit of structure, but I'm not quite sure it's enough for a trench coat. So if you guys have a tip for me on what can I use for interlining or lining to give it a little bit more structure and a bit of body, please comment below and let me know. I would appreciate any feedback on this fabric. Yeah, I bought, actually, you can see here, I bought 1.6 meters for 8 euros. Initial price was 16 euros, and I bought 2 packs of the same fabric. And what I'm thinking is modern take on a trench coat, which is a little bit between a raincoat and a trench coat. And I actually have found the pattern that I want to use. It's a Grasser pattern. It's another Russian company, and this pattern, I will pop a picture of it here so you can see it. It has a very straight silhouette, a little bit flared actually, very clean, one side placket, so it has a one row of buttons. It's not like the typical trench coat with 2 rows of buttons. I really like this modern look. This actually design has been developed, as far as I understood, by one of the popular or famous Russian influencers, if I may say, in collaboration with this Russian pattern company. It reminds me of a high-end Dutch company which makes sustainable raincoats here in the Netherlands. I have been to their brick and mortar shop, and I felt like their designs were also very minimalistic, very modern, and somehow this pattern reminds me of their design. I thought this fabric was a good deal, and I thought I really would like to sew a trench coat. I've never sewn a trench coat, so I can see myself, you know, using this fabric. It's not so expensive. You know, I've spent what, 16 euros for 3.5 meters. 3.2 meters. So I think even if something goes wrong with it, I wouldn't regret it so much. And it's my first trench coat, so I thought it's a great opportunity to, you know, to try something. And I think for me in this case, the color is beautiful. It's exactly what I want in a trench coat version. Well, okay, well, this is it for me for today. I hope you enjoy my little show of patterns and fabrics. I hope everybody is well. If you have enjoyed the content so far, please give me a like and hit the subscribe button. If you want to hear and know when the latest content come from me, hit the notification bell as well. And I hope to see you next time with some new fresh ideas here on the channel. So hope everybody is well, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye!